Good day. Very warm welcome to this meditation experience. It's lovely that you can join. And today we're going to explore this idea of balance because I hear this so often, wanting balance in our lives. And, there's so much going on. And for a while, maybe there wasn't much going on. Now there's too much going on. So we can't seem to get that balance quite right. And when I hear souls talk about balance, it always sounds like there's a plate. It always comes down to food for me. There's a plate, and there's too much of this type of food and not enough of that type of food. So I'm going to take a little of that food off and add a little more of this, and away we go. That tends to be the concept of balance. Let's say we're talking live work balance. Okay, I'm going to reduce the amount of working hours so there's more time for life, time with friends, family, and for personal time. So this idea of this or that, the word or, the English word or. Because when I first heard Indian, they kept hearing this or, and I'm thinking the English, this or that, but AUR, of course, means and. So when it comes to physically, to be able to balance, say, on one leg or maintain one's balance as they're walking down the street or an icy path, we don't think of it as this or that. We think of it as I'm not going to fall. And what do I need to activate so I don't fall? And I need to have a lot of things happening at the same time so that I can stay upright. So, this idea of and rather than or is really the crux of true balance. And when I first came into the spiritual study, I saw a little excerpt, a single sentence that really spoke to me. And what it said was, when you learn to balance silence and action, you will be powerful. And that just made so much sense as a type of balance, of blending or integration of the inner and the outer. So actually, we can do more in our lives, but feel less strain. So let's look at this kind of balance, the inner silence combining with coming into sound, outer expression. Sitting hopefully comfortably. If not, please do get comfortable wherever you are. And always the invitation, especially on a topic such as this, to explore reflecting with the eyes open, not strained, but comfortably open, then integration will seem a little bit more possible. And I start by bringing my attention completely into this moment, very aware of sitting here at this time, in this place, everything else fading into the background, acutely aware of just this moment, acutely aware of my physical presence, the body that I'm sitting in. So very much in the moment. And that creates a powerful launch pad to go inwards. Everything else on pause. And so I'm free to come inside, enter my own inner world of thoughts and feelings and memories and choices and attitudes, hopes, dreams, all the invisible stuff that forms my experiences. I come into my inner world as an observer, not trying to change anything, not judging anything, just observing everything, taking stock of the current state of my inner world, what I'm thinking, how I'm feeling, everything going on. In that position of observer protects me from getting too entangled in any one particular path of activity. I'm more free. And so I'm able to continue traveling deeper into my inner world, allowing all the usual habituated activity to also fade into the distance, the background. And as I do so, I notice my experience of the inner world becoming more and more calm. The speed of my inner world reducing, everything slowing down, and everything becoming more simple. There's no multitasking. If anything, there's letting go. Only what is necessary happening in my inner world. All the other thoughts melting away. And so I begin to feel more calm, slowing down, and the ease and comfort of simplicity. It's such an enjoyable feeling. I want to go deeper and deeper into just that state, as if I've been hungry to feel that level of serenity, well-being. And so I continue to let go of whatever I can. Far more interested in that very peaceful state. All thoughts about roles and responsibilities and tasks just falling away. Feeling like a hot air balloon that's just releasing sandbags and becoming more and more light, free, giving myself permission to let go of more and more until all that remains is a single point of experience, coming home to the self, not the image, but what's underneath the physical identity, the temporary roles, the image that I present to the world. Underneath all of that is such a beautiful, humble yet royal experience of myself. Very simple. I am just a point of being. I exist. I can think and feel but the deepest, most essential experience of myself, what I most love to think and feel, is peace. Under all the layers and labels, this is really who I am. Simply a being of peace. I, the soul, the living being. Peace is my true nature, which I experience in this very simple state. Those waves of peace from the self washing through my own mind, like an ocean flooding into my mind, washing away anything unnecessary, smoothing out any rough edges, concerns in the mind, creating such a deep sense of well-being, contentment in the mind. This is the state I've been pursuing outside when in fact it's always been here, inside. A deep, deep state of serenity. And feeling that nothing whatsoever can disturb this state because it is not conditional on anything outside. It is me, the real me. It's very simply the being of peace. And allow this experience to imprint profoundly on the self. Become very stable. Because my objective is to maintain this inner state, this deep feeling of peace and lightness and simplicity, well-being, not while just seated here, but as I come into sound and time and action, as I act and interact, even as I face challenging situations. The balance of maintaining integrity of self, this beautiful silence inside, while coming into sound. I rehearsed in my mind, visualizing a very ordinary day-to-day activity, driving the car, ironing the clothes, cooking a meal, starting simple. And how that activity would feel if I'm in this very, very peaceful state inside. Driving peacefully, patiently, ironing carefully, contentedly, and cooking lightly, infusing the food with those feelings of peace and well-being. This is the balance I choose to experiment with as I go through the day. The balance of my inner and outer world, creating peace in my life. Om Shanti. Thank you so much for joining.